Nothing special, nothing special. Nothing special there. If you walk out on the balcony here, you can speak to Prince Kiefer's sister, Princess Lisette. And her name is Lisette because she has a lisp. And she just idolizes her older brother. I mean, yeah, it's no fun to think about like us being the only people in the universe either, but there are only two, and this is a quote that I'm going to butcher. There are only two possibilities. There is either intelligent life out in the universe or there isn't. Both options are equally terrifying. I'm a real big fan of that quote. I had heard it before I played XCOM, but in the context of XCOM, it was really, really good. Rummaging through every drawer in the castle. Okay. Quite the imagination. Can you imagine living in a world, right, where, like this, like in a situation like this? Yeah, we can't go in there yet. I stress the word yet. We do have to go there later. Maybe. Again, I'm trying to be vague. Is it working? Alright, so let's go in here. Let's talk to this lady. That's armor. We don't talk to the armor. So that's everything on the second floor, I do believe. Forget I said anything. Okay, so this is a bank. They hold money. There's a merchant here. You can buy stuff if you want. Really, none of this stuff is worth purchasing. Maybe a leather shield. But I don't want to buy the leather shields. I'm stingy with my money. I'd rather save the money to buy weapons when we actually get in a place to fight monster. Yep. Yep. I think you were lied to. I don't have any proof, but that sounds like bullcrap. Yep. Treasure hunter. So, one of the things, and we won't go this later, but I'm just going to tell you up front that I'm not going to be doing any of the DLC tablets. The reason I'm not going to be doing any of that is because of, again, the function of recording over Wi-Fi means that I cannot update my system, which means I cannot connect to the network, which means that I can't download the DLC tablets. The DLC tablets are mostly there for getting, like, there's extra monsters, like, imported from later Dragon Quest games. You can get items from later Dragon Quest games, upgraded versions of items in this game, so you can get stuff like, so there's an armor you can get later in the game called Sacred Armor that restores 50 hit points at the end of every turn. You can get Sacreder Armor from the DLC tablets, and they let you get, it restores 80 hit points a turn. But this is where you give the fish bits, and you give them up, and that's it. Let's see. This gentleman lost his spectacles. They are in one of these pots. And you get the wrecked specs. You can't actually equip the wrecked specs. I do apologize. I keep yawning, which is why I'm like... I'm not tired. I'm just yawning for some reason. But you can keep the wrecked specs, but you get... And you can... Because you can equip them as an accessory, but they don't do anything. They don't give you any defense or anything like that. The entire purpose of them is to give them to that man to hear that story. And we're done in the castle now. By the way, you can... operate the draw. You can look at this lever here. I do like that they put that lever there. Like, it's a nice little touch. Is Pike in here now? Yes, he is. So in the PlayStation 1 version of the game, if you're playing along or whatever, you actually have to see this scene with Pike in this place before you can advance the plot. So, and he's talking about the in the PlayStation 1 version it's called the Hot Stone. In this version it's called the Sizzling Stone. I have, by the way, beaten the PlayStation 1 version of the game. But I haven't actually beaten it recently. I didn't do like a test play for it to prepare for this game because I knew like right off the bat I was going to play the 3DS version. I beat the PlayStation 1 version when I was working at Blockbuster circa 2008, 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. And one of my coworkers, his name was Jonathan. Jonathan really, he had similar game taste to me, and we exchanged games. He wanted to play not Dragon. He wanted to play Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, and I had a copy, and I wanted to play Dragon Quest VII, and I lent him my copy of Dragon Quarter, and he lent me his copy of Dragon Quest VII and the player's guide for it, because he had the player's guide. And I beat it with the use of the player's guide. There's not really much to say. Like, so I've played the PlayStation 1 version. Like, I have memories of doing this sequence right here, and I'm going to, and I actually looked it up. So I can tell you some of the stuff they cut out for doing this. Most of the stuff up to this point is the same. It's this little side quest right here that they kind of toned down. And then they toned down the shrines later that we're going to go visit. So, this point in the story, there's a lot of running back and forth. They kind of like, there's several NPCs you've got to speak to and stuff like that. You got to talk to NPCs in the correct order, and they kind of cut all that out. They cut out several of the red herrings. So there's two main red herrings in the original version. One of them is the sizzling stone or pot stone in the PlayStation 1 version that Pike is trying to sell. And basically, they leave that in the story by having Kiefer be the one, like, he's running around doing that while Oster takes care of the book. And you can run around and get several items to try here at this spot. But again, they're all red herrings. There's also, you have to talk to several NPCs before you get the idea of the person to speak to actually, like, you know, look into the book further. And right off the bat, they're like, Prince Kiefer's like, why don't you take the book to the hermit over here? Also, I would like to know the technical definition of yonks. Like, how many years is in a yonk? Yep. Here goes nothing. And nothing. Exactly. Well, I mean, that's what you said was going to happen. Here goes nothing. It's exactly what you got. I do wonder who that's a statue of. Like the first king of Estard, maybe? But like this sequence here, like Kiefer's not the one that tells you about Dermot the Hermit. In the PlayStation 1 version, you take the book back to Maribel. You have to try. I think you have to try the hot stone and maybe one other item, and then you can take the book to Maribel. And Maribel asks you if she can look at the book. She looks at the book, and she's like, "Huh, that's an interesting book you have there." Like maybe the weaponsmith in Estard will know something about it. And you go and you take it to the weapon shop owner in Estard, and the weapon shop owner in Estard is like, "Oh, you should take it to the hermit." Whoa, that was okay. So we want to go this way. The camera did very strange things there, and sometimes it just does. No, I didn't mean to click both buttons there, Tom. I like to keep the camera like behind my characters here. Pretty soon I'm going to have to like turn on the heater. It's starting to get a little cool. But that's okay, because I purchased an electric blanket recently. I also have a very good heater, so usually pretty nice and toasty in bed. So this hallway right here, I remember this being really long, like the walk to Dermot's hut being significantly longer in the PlayStation 1 version of the game. Like, and it taking a very long time to like walk back and check in with him. I do own the PlayStation 1 version of this game, by the way. There was a series... I bought it in like 2011 or 12. Something like that. 2010, somewhere in there. I was working at Walmart when I bought it. I had... yeah, there's no items over here. Yes, show him the book. No. I went through like a phase where I was like, every paycheck I had, I gave. Even these days, my bills are not at a certain, are at a level. My bills are at a level where I have a lot of like expendable money. And I've been saving it for the last like few years instead of just spending it. But I used to like go, oh, okay, I've got $50 extra, or I've got $100 extra. I'm going to buy a game. So I bought a game like every paycheck. And I was like, I spent a lot of time buying games on the PlayStation and the Super Nintendo and things like that. Because I kind of had in my head I was going to collect games. And I kind of decided against that later. A, it's very expensive. And B, like, the act of owning the games doesn't do anything for me. Like, I want to be able to play them. And, like, I don't like digital distribution. I like owning... this is a very complicated topic. And I don't want to ramble on it, so I'm probably going to just drop it here. But suffice it to say that, like, I came to the conclusion that there are a few games that I want to be able to play, specifically in situations where the systems don't emulate well, but I'm perfectly content with emulation. Is the conclusion that I came to. Now we're supposed to go to the castle, and I think we're supposed to go to the castle. Oh, before I forget, let's go back to the town here, because we can now get this. Oh, right. If you talk to her, you see a glimmer in the well. And then well, we didn't see the glimmer because there's a house in the way, but trust me, there's a glimmer there. And then she'll let you go down in the well. And then you can get a mini medal. Alright, cool. So let's go talk to Kiefer. He's in the castle in his room. And that's on the second floor. But basically, like, all the, like, red herrings that they make you do, like, they kind of had Prince Kiefer do all that off-screen, which is good, because this sequence takes, like, 2.5 to 3 hours in the PlayStation 1 version. And, like, we're at an hour right now, and we've still got a ways to go. I would say that to get to the point where you actually go into the shrine, you're looking at an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes, I'd say. It's about the 50% mark, and then you have to actually, like, activate the pedestals. And to do that, you have to do a bunch of puzzles, and they cut all those puzzles out. Yes, we are. But Kiefer joins the party. Alright. Let's see. Kiefer starts with a cypress stick and some Wayfarer's clothes. Let's actually transfer this stuff out of the bag. Into the bag, I mean. I like to leave my inventory nice and clean. Keep my inventory nice and clean. Alright. This is the second floor. That is not the exit. I need to go downstairs first. But now we have someone in the party, and we can do party talk. And generally the party talk in this version of the game is mostly related to, like, what you gotta do next. Sometimes you'll get messages for when you go into a new area or whatever. You'll get the thoughts on the area the person is in.